Hello and welcome to Pens, Paint and Whiskers. So today, following on, if you have been watching along or following my channel, you will know I picked up this little gem, secondhand, and I explained it and I talked through it in my last video. So I did also say that I will try and attempt some artwork out of it. It's Irish calligraphy, so we had a very unique kind of style of writing and illuminated manuscripts in our artwork in kind of the 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th centuries. This book sort of takes you through how to make certain pieces, like how to make those really beautiful Celtic knots, and it showcases some artwork. Also from those ancient manuscripts. So I did state I would give it a go on screen. I have no idea how this is going to work, but or how I will end up with something, but I thought, why not? And I might do some live streams with it as well. That's always the fun part too. So yeah, it is a great book. Timothy O'Neill, he is a modern Irish artist and calligrapher. And he has put together this little book. So these are his own works, but they're going from our artwork back in the 9th and 10th, 7th centuries even. And all these motifs, obviously very highly decorated, sort of knotwork there, as you can see. And little letters have a habit of being finished off with these interesting sort of little beast head sort of motifs. And yeah, so I'm going to try them. I'm going to see how far I get with this video. That's kind of what we're talking about as well. So if you're familiar with the Book of Kells, that would be the most one of our most famous objects. So all this style is from that. There is an actual page. I think that is the Gospel of St Gallen. And you can see there the top of this frame, it's finished off in a bull's head. So yeah, and you can see the letter, there's a letter there, it looks like P, but it starts off with this kind of dragon head and it swirls around. So yeah, I'm going to have some fun with this. And the page I was thinking of working on is this sort of angel. Now, an interesting thing about sort of angels depicted in old Irish manuscripts. Now, maybe it's a thing elsewhere too. I'm not entirely sure. But they are a little bit odd in that they're, to use that phrase that I'm not sure I like a lot, but biblically accurate. So as you can see, he's got these wings and he's got these wings and he's got wings on his head. And if you look closely, these little things here, they can be construed as eyes. I'm not entirely certain if they are eyes, but to me they look like eyes around his wings. So that's quite interesting. And this here is an unfinished page, so who knows what they were going to do with this page. But the monk had started it and he put in little dots of reference for these this knotwork border. So this was going to continue all the way around and all the way here, but sadly unfinished, and potentially the cloak here was going to be designed too. So, but sadly we'll never know. So I've been making little sketches, and I might actually, first time, I might actually draw more, and I might finish off with little kind of beast heads. So I made a somewhat attempt here, and as you can see, I'll just try it. Can I zoom in? No, I'm not too sure I can. Slightly, but anyway. So I wanted to make him, I'll just put Kitty over there to keep him free. Oh, no, it doesn't want to lie flat. Yeah, so I'd made a somewhat attempt at a kind of biblically accurate angel. So I might just draw, of course you guys cannot see, that's the angel, but you cannot see him or it now because it's out of the camera's way. But yeah, you best believe me, I'm looking at him as I'm drawing. So yeah, I'm going to just see how far I get. So I like the idea that he's not got necessarily a face. He's got the shape of a head. Now I know in the book of St Gallen here from 780, imagine, this angel has a face, so they tend to give him a monobrow and quite thick eyebrows. I'm not going to do that, of course. I'm just going to keep, I do like the lots of wings, and the eyes on the wings are quite unusual. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to finish it off by maybe these little beast heads and swirly whirly beasts here, and see how far I go. And I might turn it into an ongoing project, or a live stream even. Now he's got upside down wings sort of coming out of these wings here. So I was thinking, there's the border, so I was thinking they could form like an arch around them, so it would be quite interesting. And I'll have to think in wings upside down. One of the things I sometimes struggle with is wings. Batty, leathery wings are okay, but sometimes feathered wings like goose or swan wings, they're not necessarily my favourite thing to draw. But yeah, I'll give them a go. And I like the idea that it looks like shafts of light too, except it is not. Now, there's a small wing and a big wing on his head. So, there. Trying to keep them both the one size. Yeah, so I'm looking at his cloak. So, I wonder, So I'm just going to lie him flat again, and hint in again, flowing fabric is not necessarily easy to convey, but we'll get there. It's these kind of swirly whirly beasts and animal motifs I'm sort of somewhat a little bit apprehensive over, but we'll see how we go, and I might do a separate video on more of them. Because they are quite fun actually, because you can draw the beast head and do more of the knotwork going down the way. So I might entertain that idea. That is what I got the book for, just kind of like a guidebook, and just a little bit of fun too, like kind of an artistic inspiration. That's a big thing, a big like of mine is medieval illuminated manuscripts. So if you follow along, you probably know this anyway, but I like to select medieval artworks and make my own interpretation. This would be a similar sort of medieval artwork, in that, well, kind of more 780 artwork. But yeah, so, and I'm just kind of making my own interpretations of it, because I really like it. It just stands out to me. And the idea that it's unfinished too is quite sad. So yeah, so we'll keep going with him. In the original, he seems to be holding like a like a tablet in his hand. So I'm going to keep going with that. I don't know. I might write something quite clever on said tablet, like even my own signature, or you know, a little something clever. I might finish that last. I wonder, has his head gone a bit bigger? And okay, so in the original, I'll just show again. Yeah, in the original, he has a sort of a cloak, I presume, and yeah, this little design here, and this design. Yeah, I might draw sort of like a Grecian kind of design, and now I'm not too fond of his face, but that's why I went with the wings covering it, because he has got like a halo of wings here and double wings, and these with the eyes on them. Yeah, so I might keep going with his cloak now, going by a kind of a typically Grecian look, but slightly different. There's sort of a V on it, or a kind of a swirl here, or nearly like a horseshoe shape. Again, it's the first time I've ever depicted or went with I'm not doing knotwork now in this video, but I might do it actually on live stream, so that might be fun, and I might do more in another video. But what I like about this book is it actually shows you how to do it easily, as I've demonstrated in the unfinished work here by the monks. They used to do it by little dots, and they'd kind of like join the dots, they'd follow the dots all around, and I don't know who worked it out or how, but yeah, very impressive, and it never looked like they made a mistake. So yeah, I might do that actually, and this book sort of allows that with grid work, so I might need obviously a ruler. So I like the idea of a design there, and I might do something like a little star or something, and yeah, sort of like a Grecian sort of cloak, because it's not very obvious. Well, he's wearing a cloak in the book, but you can kind of put what you want on him cloak wise. Yeah. And the tablet he has, so his hands do look a little bit odd. I'm not the best at drawing hands, but with angels anywhere, with this guy you can kind of sort of make them into sort of claws nearly, because of given that kind of nearly animalistic vibe. And there's what he's turning out like. I do like him a lot. Now I might do kind of eyes along, well I'll certainly do them along here, so I'll just hint them in, because the original here has designs that sort of look a little bit like eyes, so I'll draw them in here, and I might draw some on these little head wings. To say now, some of these books were made in the year 780. It's very impressive to me, considering that a book is a very delicate object. I mean, we have swords and we have buildings and other objects, bodies even from that period and before, but to say that a book which is made out of skin and leather and you know, natural materials, to say that quite a lot have been preserved. It shows two things: the preservation and the care put towards them nowadays, and the fact that they were revered, and back then they were treated with the utmost respect too. And at least we do have them today. And you can also go online and look at digitized versions of them. So I always put links in my descriptions to what books I can find online, should you want to go and just have a little browse. And yeah, I would tell everyone to go and pick an artwork or some illuminated picture that really takes your fancy, and give it a go. So these little animal heads, I have been practicing them. Well, not really practicing. I just made a simple little sketch. And some of these heads, it's hard to know what they are. But given the 7th century Ireland, I can only assume that they are swans and wolves and, you know, oxen sort of creatures. I can only assume that's what a lot of them are. Now, some look more like dragons than anything else, but given that it's sort of maybe an apocalyptic vision, I'm going to go with sort of traditionally biblical creatures. So that is going to be my eagle. And this fella here, I'm not sure what I had designed. I had originally thought a wolf, and then I thought, actually no. And I do for a fact know that there is a bull somewhere in the book. So I'll just have a little look for him. So yeah, that's kind of the swan head I like the look of. and I was sort of sketching it out. That's the bull that now Timothy O'Neill, the artist, has coloured him and redrawn it, but that's a bull that appears in, I believe it's the Book of Kells, which is of course the four Gospels as well. So I like him a lot, so I might actually try and, yeah, not going to work on the size of the camera, but I might try and see what way. Can you guys even see? I think you can. Sometimes these creatures leave a lot of interpretation. Yeah, bull. I'm not sure. More like a donkey, I think. But we'll do little horns on him. He's ended up more like a goat than anything else. But and he was originally supposed to be a bull, or a wolf. So now he's turned from bull, wolf, bull, goat, all three. So I think maybe goat, he'll have to remain as one, but he's supposed to be a bull. And this little beastie at the bottom, so it's quite difficult to depict, but I had imagined a lion, so eagle, bull, lion and man. So 4 evangelists. So I'm going to draw a little sort of swirly whirly lion, and he's somehow looks like he's some sort of awful accident has befallen him, in that his body is twisted in on itself. But that was how they depicted creatures. So they used to fill up a margin of a page and fill it up with all these magnificent creatures, and it takes a little bit of looking at them to realise what exactly they are. So his back paw, and he's got a little bit of a swirl going on here. There is his other back paw. Oh goodness. An attempt was made, but I'm not sure if it is a decent attempt. I'm not sure what St Gallen or St Columba would think of me, but hey, however, we'll put a little tuft on his tail. So I don't know if there's room for a mane, but a lion, I don't know. But if you squint very hard. So what I was trying to explain is, so this lion here fills out the bottom of the page. So that's the head and the 2 paws and a very elongated body and 2 back paws and a tail in the middle. And I might just hint in that he's supposed to have a mane. Yeah. And these little beast heads, I might draw them more so in another video. Because they are fun, actually. And you can kind of get a little bit fantastical with them. I can imagine that back in the day in a Irish scriptorium, which was cold and damp. No real lights to speak of. I would imagine maybe some kind of, not even a candle. I don't know what they used, a rushlight. Drawing these was, I like to think, was maybe a kind of a whimsy experience. Now I know they were very dedicated to their craft, but I like to think that they still had fun in depicting, and there is evidence that they still had an awful lot of fun in depicting these creatures in the margins of these spectacular books. Certainly the Book of Kells. Now, so this is going to be a little man head up here. How am I going to depict that? But certainly in the Book of Kells, one monk wrote a poem, Pangarbon. So he had a white cat with him when he was illuminating the book. The cat was catching mice and having fun. He was not, and he wrote a poem in the margin about said cat. And there is other depictions. Now, there's a perfect face. Okay, so he's got little pigtails and a fringe. Yeah, and then in other books, they would put in little funny things. So sort of like the medieval marginalia of 100 or 2 years after them. There is one such example, I believe as well, it's in the Book of Kells, that there is a dog. Now he's a stylized dog, but he's a dog, and he's drinking out of a sort of a glass or a cup of beer, and in the next page he is sort of swaying, and in the page after that he is dangling on the bottom of the page, hanging by one paw on the end of a letter on the paragraph. So he's clinging on for dear life, and he's going to fall as he is getting more and more tipsy. So I like to think that in their scriptorium they still had an awful lot of fun drawing all of these funny little creatures and little tiny stories. I guess maybe it can also be argued perhaps that it is one of the first examples of a comic book, in that it has a story going along through the pages. Now some might disagree with me, but I don't know. An overarching storyline, page to page, a dog drinking and then using the letters to prop himself up with and cling on with, and then falling. If that's not a comic story, I don't know what is. There is another depiction in the Book of Kells that there is a mouse, and he's hiding in a letter. So and he's covering his little face. And in the other letter underneath there is a cat, and he's looking for him. So that's quite fun as well. And it's sort of like there's a joke in Trinity College, I think, where the book is held. It's I think, is it 7th century Tom and Jerry? So yeah, very interesting little sort of humorsome bits out of it. And humorsome storytelling. And of course in medieval European books from the 11th, 12th, 13th century, they had all sort of funny little happenings in the margins too. So it's never left us that sort of humour in humanity, and want to tell or want to have a little bit of fun even. That's what I love about these manuscripts. That there's still that urge to have fun and humour and laughing at ourselves and the things going on around us. It's one of the examples I find. It's humans will be always humans and have never changed. So that's my sort of odd looking angel. So I'm going to go with him. I'm actually really happy with how he has turned out. And I will ink him in. I'm not sure if I will make a video of inking him in. I might just go for maybe a live stream, or maybe even do him off camera. But that's the start of it. So that took maybe, I had a little tiny sketch built up before this. It took maybe half an hour, all in all. And that's the start of my sort of going way back to Irish illuminated manuscripts and looking at them more in depth. And I will probably, more than likely, make another few videos based on this book itself. And yeah, and I'll pop the link of seeing these books online, the digitized version, down below. And why not try some yourself? And thank you very much for watching. If you know me and if you've been following along, I appreciate you very much. Thank you. If you're new here and you just stumble across my videos, I make things like this pretty much all the time. And I have a new video out. I try to make one every week. So I do post regularly. And if this is your thing, and if you really like what you see, why not consider liking and subscribing? I'd be most appreciative of it. So now, guys, I'm going to love you all and leave you all. So goodbye and thanks for watching.